Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed with all of the financial tools and apps spread across the internet? In all honesty, most of this is overkill, and you really only need a few financial tools to effectively manage your money. So in this video, I'm simplifying things by explaining exactly what's worked for me. And this has come from somebody who has spent years testing them out and making these videos on YouTube. Now, whether you're a complete beginner or somebody who's been in this game for a while, I do think you'll find value out of this video. Just make sure to stay until the end as I'll share some free resources and insights that can save you hundreds of hours of time in research. If you're new here, this is Feasible Creative, where we help you unlock financial freedom. So let's go. As far as the structure of this video goes, I'll break things down into different segments based on the key financial categories. And this is things like budgeting, investing, credit cards. I'll explain the importance of these sections and then dive into the tools themselves. Also, I'll leave links in the description for everything that we go over, and some of them will be affiliate links, so feel free to click those if you want to support the channel. Firstly, let's start with budgeting, the foundation to everything. At its core, budgeting is simply tracking your money coming in versus your money going out. But most people tend to overcomplicate things. While day-to-day spending might seem small or insignificant, over time, these habits are critical to your overall financial success. With regards to financial tools, I feel like there are 3 different approaches to budgeting. The first is to use budget apps, and these tend to connect to your financial accounts like your credit cards or your bank accounts, record your transactions, and are very automated. The second approach is to use spreadsheets. This is the more traditional old school way of doing things, where you essentially build out something in Microsoft Excel or in Google Sheets, and it's very personalized but very manual. And the third way, which I use personally, is more of a hybrid approach, and this is where you use a blend of both a budget app and also a spreadsheet. I've tested nearly every single budgeting app offering, but what I currently use right now is called Quick and Simplify. Reason being, the interface is clean, it's very easy to build a simple budget, and it's more of a passive budgeting approach where you don't have to necessarily track every single dollar. Now, all your transaction data and whatnot will be flowing into this view. You can still see trends, but you don't have to assign every single dollar a purpose. If you're somebody who needs to be a little bit more active in your budget management, I suggest using the app called YNAB. So you can take your money, assign some to gas, to groceries, to rent, and even a portion to savings. The idea here is that every single dollar you have will have a purpose, and it makes it a lot easier to be more intentional with your spending. One of the cons with these 2 options though is that they do cost money every single month. So if you're somebody who wants a free option of a budget app, I suggest trying out Rocket Money. Now, Rocket Money has a freemium model where there is a premium view that has more features, but if you just want the basic features, you can sign up for a free account. The second approach we talked about is spreadsheets. And again, this is a little bit more manual. There's room for human error, but at the same time, you have full privacy and you have the ability to fully customize things as needed. For those of you who do prefer using spreadsheets, I have a link in the description for my free budget template. This is based on the income statement that companies use to track their own financials. For anybody who needs help filling out the template, feel free to click the link below. You can schedule a one-on-one budget review call with me. It's completely free. I'll walk you through how to do everything and go from there. And lastly, that third approach, the hybrid view, is again what I personally use. So this is something where I like to have the automations with Quick and Simplify, where I can track my day-to-day transactions, see charts, see dashboards. But at the same time, I have the ability to use this budget template that I just shared with you guys. So I know my income, my general expenses, and I'm able to see about how much I'm saving each month. Also, before we move on, make sure to hit the like button if you're getting any value out of this video. The next section is net worth tracking. So budgeting is really all about tracking your cash flow, while net worth tracking is more so looking at the bigger picture. It's essentially measuring your wealth over time. The net worth formula is easy. It's total assets minus total liabilities. Assets include things like your cash, your investments, the value of your house, the value of your car, while liabilities include things like credit card debt, student debt, or car loans. Personally, when it comes to net worth tracking, when I first started out, I was using a massive spreadsheet, but over time I've switched to using the Empower Personal Dashboard. This is a completely free tool that tracks your net worth over time. You can look more in depth into things like your investment accounts. You can see your portfolio versus different benchmarks like the total US stock market. Also, a pro tip, with the Empower Personal Dashboard, you can actually still access all of your transactions, and you can download this data in a CSV format, and then you can upload this into a spreadsheet if you want to do different analyses. Next section is credit cards. As an important disclaimer, you should only use credit cards if you're using them responsibly and paying off your balance in full every single month. Now, some advantages of using credit cards include credit building. So as you're spending money using your credit card, paying off that balance in full, you can start to build up your credit score. Secondly, there's cash back and rewards. So you essentially get rewarded for your everyday spending that you'd already be doing. And also there is purchase protection. So if there's any form of fraud or any charges you have to dispute, generally you can reach out to your credit card company to get it fixed. Now, it's hard to recommend a specific credit card since it does vary based based on your lifestyle, things you do, things you spend money on. But broadly speaking, most people fall into two different categories when it comes to credit cards. And the first is a cashback user, and the second is travel. Cashback is much simpler, where essentially you use your credit card and you tend to get cash back on every purchase. For example, the Capital One Savor Cash Rewards credit card is a great option with no annual fee. With this card, you can earn unlimited 3% cash back at grocery stores, on dining, entertainment, and popular streaming services. Plus, you get 1% back on all other purchases. And secondly, when it comes to travel, this is best for people who want to turn their everyday spending into future flights or hotel stays or any form of travel. These cards tend to have higher annual fees, but the perks they offer tend to offset them. Sticking with the theme of Capital One, a popular credit card option is the Capital One Venture X Rewards credit card. This gives you a $300 annual travel credit for bookings through the Capital One travel portal, which is essentially just an online booking platform. Now, this can help offset the annual fee of $395 per year. How this works is, as you spend money, you essentially earn rewards in the form of Capital One miles. You can basically take these miles that you earn, use them within the Capital One travel portal to travel. Now, looking at all your spend within the Capital One portal, you can earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, 5x miles on flights and vacation rentals, and then 2x miles on all of their purchases. When you use this card strategically, you can get some great deals and save on your travel. Next up, we have investing, and this is how your money starts to work for you. Ideally, you will have your investments compound over time, so small contributions today could snowball into massive amounts in the future. Firstly, when it comes to retirement investing, I always make sure to max out the match that my company provides. So if you contribute 5%, your company may match that 5% as well. Not financial advice, but this is typically a good idea for something to do in your own life as well, as you really want to start to build that foundation while you're young and continue to contribute money over time. For investing beyond this, I tend to use Vanguard for a brokerage account and also my IRA. Vanguard's known for having relatively low fees, and they also have great index fund options. I've been using Vanguard for a while, and I will say that over time, the interface has gotten a lot better as well. So it's pretty easy to execute trades, to buy, to sell. And I think overall, it's a great platform to consider when it comes to the world of investing. Next, we have banking. Picking the right bank accounts has been important on my own financial journey, as it's made sure that my money is safe and also earn some interest while it's sitting there. These accounts are where I store my emergency fund or some cash if I'm trying to save up for a bigger purchase. Now, firstly, let's start with the high yield savings accounts, or HYSAs. If you've watched any of my content, you're probably familiar at this point, but these are an alternative to the traditional bank accounts. They're typically online only and pay out a higher APY or interest rate to customers. Two options I like to use are SoFi Checking Savings and Marcus by Goldman Sachs, and I like them for different reasons. SoFi is great because it offers both a checking account and a savings account. You also get a SoFi debit card, which you can use to buy things online or in person. The second option I like to use is Marcus by Goldman Sachs, and this is a much simpler HYSA option, and it's really only a savings account. I like to use Marcus though because it's super simple. It's just an account that has money and gets high APY. I don't really think about it much. I just have it there and I can always trust it. Now, the trade-off with most HYSAs is that there are no physical locations. So anytime you need customer service or anything like that, you have to make a phone call or talk to a chatbot. You can't really meet with a bank teller. For many people, that could be completely fine, but in my own journey, I've always made sure to have a physical or brick and mortar bank as well. I have my debit card. I can meet with bank tellers as needed. I can withdraw cash. In my opinion, it's great to keep a traditional bank alongside your HYSA. Now, here is a bonus section, which I like to call the quick hits. First off, with debt payoff, there is a website called unbury.me. So if you're somebody who has student debt, for example, with multiple loans at different interest levels, different principal amounts, you can plug in all this information into this free website and see how long it will take you to pay off all of your debt. You can look at how much interest you'll pay over time, or you can see if you increase the amount you pay per month, just how much time and money you can save. Secondly, let's look at side hustles. When I first started out doing graphic design freelancing on the side before YouTube and anything like that, I started to make a little bit of money, but all of my income was just flowing into my typical personal bank accounts. And over time, this got confusing as it started to scale, and I ultimately started using a banking solution called Novo. Now, Novo is a fintech company. It's not a bank, but they provide you the ability to completely separate all of your side hustle or your side business income and expenses versus your personal budget. Now, some features include that Novo will give you a debit card you can use for your different business expenses. There's also dashboard views you can see to understand your income, your expenses. And also within the platform, there's the ability to do invoicing. So if you have anything where you bill out your customers, you can do this all within Novo. Again, this is just what's worked for me. You don't have to necessarily use everything that's on this list, but I think this will be helpful for a vast majority of people. If you found this video useful, make sure to hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.